All righty, we're here. Almost well, 20
It's
seconds
Kilo
away. So.
November 4, Victor Tango India. Hey Paul, you got me?
I do, but we're starting the net here in about 4 seconds.
Copy that.
All righty, is the frequency in use? All righty, I didn't expect so. This is K4PEW. My name is Paul, net control for the Mount Juliet Simplex radio net. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Very good. If you have an emergency, please call 911. And you can just talk to us while you're waiting for them to show up. If you're unable to talk to us, just wait for 911 people. You may break at any time into the net for emergency or priority traffic. For information on this net, you can see us right now on YouTube. You can go to my call, K4PEW, or the word Brain Trusts. It's one word, BRAINTRUSTS, in the search block on YouTube, and it should come right up. You can also see us on our website at 146415.net. And you can also see us apparently on Facebook, but I don't know the address. You can look it up under, I think, MJ either _SS or MJSS or Mount Juliet Simplex Society. I didn't operate that. I don't have access to Facebook. Also, you can see us, let's see, where else? Oh, yeah, on groups.io is our new site. Groups.io. If you go to groups.io, I sent everybody a message on that who was on the mailing list. But you can go to groups.io and request. If you're not on it, you can request permission to, we'll approve people who want to be on the mailing list. If you just go to groups.io, of course, the HTTP // groups.io, it's in the Oscar, and then go in there and search for MJSS. That's exactly what it is, MJSS. Or you can send me an email, k4pew@arrl.net. We've got about 82 or 80, I forget, 82 or 83 people on the mailing list, which is quite a big group for what seemed to be a silly little simplex group. So there's apparently enough interest to make it interesting. We normally meet at 8 p.m. every Wednesday and Saturday night. And of course, on this frequency, and we meet here on 146.415, 146.415 FM Simplex. The purpose of the net is to essentially have fun, get to meet other people on the air, understand how your signal works. You can see it on the screen. You can go to the YouTube site and see how your signal strength gets my station and how other people compare to you, so to speak. At least give you an idea who you can hear and can't hear, because if you can't hear it, you can hear it here on the on YouTube. We invite everyone to use the net to announce amateur radio stuff and other things in support of the local community. Does anybody? Well, let me do my announcements, which I always do first. This is Wednesday, so today is the FM net on 146.415, followed by the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net, followed by the sideband net on 144.240. So that's what today is. I just want to mention about the group. Make sure to look on the group and see the groups.io site for the group, because you can add a little picture, a little thumbnail of yourself. You can also add a little profile about maybe your ham radio experience or whatever, just so people will know who you are. If that's what you want to do. You don't have to. It is. I don't know. It's kind of important if you want to be part of the community of Simplexton, as we call it.
Today is Saturday.
Yeah. What about it?
You said Wednesday.
I said Wednesday. Well, no, I said we meet every Saturday and Wednesday. Didn't I say that?
I think you said today is Wednesday.
Oh, my yeah. Never know. Getting old, man.
You do a W in there, KK4.
All righty. Anyway, Wednesday and Saturday. Those are the 2 days we meet. Today's Saturday. But anyway, Saturday night we're doing obviously the buy, sell, swap, and swindle, followed by the 144.240 sideband, and then that'll be it. But I want to just a little bit of caution. We don't want to drag it out too far. Last time we're getting a fairly large number of check-ins, so we end up with the last time we did the sideband net, we finished up at 1 hour and 35 minutes, and I'd like to avoid that. So I guess we want to keep the chatter between me and whoever I'm talking to. As you know me, I'll flap my jaws a long time. We probably need to keep it to about a minute or so if we can. If you got something to say, that's great, but we want to keep it relatively short. I mean, I don't want to cut anybody off just by we don't want to turn this into a check-in, giving your grid square your call and your first name and then goodbye. So today, this is an edition, by the way, this is net number 534. We'll be starting from the east. I know James is excited about that. He knew that was coming. Let me see if I have any. Is there any other announcements or clarification on announcements to know that it's Saturday and not Wednesday? Yeah, go ahead, Scott.
Yes, another radio in the background.
Yes, you heard CW. Is it troublesome?
Yeah, it's just enough to make me wonder.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, very good. I could be playing music in the background, which would be a lot worse.
Okay. Hey, let's have that. Okay, what else? Although I know it's probably going two sides for you.
Yeah, some of it is. You're right. It just flies by me. Yeah, I'm working on it though. I'm not going to give up.
All right. Okay, what else?
Very good, Scott. That was Scott, my CW buddy. We both were struggling with the CW issues. I don't know if his is worse than mine or I'm worse than him. If there's any other announcements at this time, before we proceed.
Comment.
Hey, go ahead, Michael.
Oh, we started on East Wednesday.
Really? Are you sure about that?
Absolutely positive.
Yeah, you're right. We did. I'm sorry. I thought it looked funny when I put down that because I was looking at the wrong previous date. I'm really messing up today. So we're starting, unfortunately, James, we're starting from the north tonight. Yeah, you just wanted to be in that north group, didn't you, Michael?
Well, maybe.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. It did seem funny, though. It struck me as odd, but I'm glad you pointed that out. I'd hate to mess up anybody by starting with the wrong group. That would be discrimination. Like I was favoring people from the east or something. All right, well, let's go ahead. Start taking check-ins from the north. So wake up north. Anybody from the north, please come in.
WE4E.
Hey, how you doing, Annie? Got the opportunity to finally meet you this morning, and you didn't even come to a breakfast or nothing.
I know. How about that? So, yeah, it was nice to meet you too, Paul. I apologize it was so brief, but timing being everything, I got there 90 seconds before your wife did, and I was blocking the whole world. But anyway, it was a treat to get to meet you, and thank you very much for the help today.
No problem. That's what we're here for. It's everybody's got a. I'm surprised I still had that sitting here. I don't know why I'm surprised, but I was trying to think, am I using it? No, I don't even know why it's sitting there. It came off of a rig that I'm not using.
Well, it was divine providence, certainly, because I'm a big doofus, and I packed up a whole big cardboard box full of stuff and took it over to Charlie's, and got ready to get the power cord out, and wasn't one. And I thought, well, gee, maybe it fell out of the box in the truck. No, it's right here on the workbench, right where I left it. So you definitely saved the day.
Yeah, I guess, but it'll all work out for good. I mean, those aren't. I don't remember them being that expensive to begin with. I always had one that came with the radio.
Yeah, I've got 2 or 3 of them around here. Just didn't have one with me where the radio was, which would have been kind of useful. But I'll get this one over there to him. We've got some antenna work to do. And I'll get this over to him and then pick yours up and get it back to you here in the next short little bit. I'm not real sure. We still have a bit of coordination to do, but anyway, we got him up and running today. Made it contact the 2.1 miles across the water, and so he's able to tune around, do some listening. We got to get that antenna up in the air a little bit. And once we do that, he'll be in good shape.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's good. I'm glad you were there to help him. All right, very good. Hope you're having a good day, and you made all that travel for. Thankfully, you didn't have to go home.
Yeah, that was the lucky break because he's 2.1 miles from me, and it takes me 50 minutes to drive there because they put a lake in the way, and they didn't put a bridge anywhere near. So anyway, I'm excited for him, and I'm sure he'll tell you more about it. I heard him there a minute ago, so let's step out of the way and let you continue on with the net. Keep it short. So, Paul, thank you very much. I appreciate everything today and all you do with the net and everything. And I'll sit back and listen. WE4E, back to you.
Just means you need a boat.
Yeah, exactly. I told his mom earlier I could have put this stuff in a kayak and paddled over there and been there sooner.
Yeah, it would only take you 15 or 20 minutes to paddle across.
Yeah, if that. I mean, if you look, Google it later, where he is, where I am. It's silly that it took me 50 minutes.
Well, Nashville traffic being what it is, and where you live isn't exactly light traffic.
Well, exactly. Um, it's just, yeah, you just can't get there from here. So, anyway, we'll get him there. So, anyway, Paul, thanks very much. Don't leave me for you back to the net. Thanks.
You're right. I know what you're talking about now. It would only take a few minutes to cross where you were talking about.
Yep, you're exactly right.
All right. Well, very good, Dan. It was Danny. He's in Hendersonville. That's Whiskey Echo 4 Echo. I got to meet him for the first time today under odd circumstances. He just wanted to pick up a part to take to Charlie, who needed the part. But anyway, who else we got? North, please come in.
Kilo November 4, Victor Tango India.
Hello, Charlie. Kilo November 4 Victor Tango India. You got it all squared away with the new rig?
Yep, I have this one hooked up to the mag mount that I was using before outside my window because that has a coax inside of it. I'm using the coax that I was using for the HF rig. That I was using for this rig for the HF rig. So I'm finding a way to get on the net. I'm doing my best.
Well, you're doing fine so far. You got a good signal to me. I'm not sure you have a good signal to everybody, but I'm sure you're excited about the HF rig and having the HF antenna out there. And at least for the moment, you'll be able to. Let's see, what part of the band can you get on as a technician? It's 10 meters, isn't it?
Yeah, for technician, it's 10 meters, very limited phone and CW, and then you have a little bit of parts of some of the higher HF bands for CW only.
There you go. You're going to have to be proficient at CW now.
Tell him the rest of it.
What's the rest of it?
Charlie, tell him what you did this morning.
I passed my general exam.
Ah, you didn't. She should start out with the big information. You shouldn't withhold it. Well, that's terrific. Where'd you take the test?
Smyrna, the Stone River Amateur Radio Club holds a test in Smyrna at the Stonecrest Medical Center every other month. So I passed my first one there, and I passed the second one there.
Wow, that's awesome. So when are you going to take the extra test?
I tried it that time. I got 30 out of 57 more, and I would have passed. But I'm going to take the extra test whenever I can. I'm going to study and probably take it next test they have there.
Cool. Well, I'm glad. That's really terrific getting that general in there. So now you can work, 90% of the bands.
Yep, it's cool. It's cool. Generals get a lot of frequencies. I get all the 160 meter band. I get all of 17, all of 12, all of 10, all of 60 and 30, which are secondary bands. But yeah, generals get a lot of stuff to work with.
Yeah, some people actually. I know people who got as far as general, and they had so much fun with what they were given, they didn't bother to go further.
I don't think that'll be me though. I think I'm going to go all the way.
Well, that's the way I felt when I took the test as well, Charlie. I didn't want to procrastinate and say I'm going to take it and then drag my feet or have other reasons not to take it. So I just went ahead and studied for it and got it within about 30 days of getting my general.
That might even be what I do. I feel like if I take the test at the same place, there's those studies that just show that if you take like a math test, like the math state test, you'll take it in like a cafeteria and you won't do as good as if you take it in the math room, like in the math classroom where you've done your math. So there's just studies that show that that's probably smart for me to do that. Take the same place.
That'll be cool. I'm sure you will. As long as you can retain the material, I'm sure you'll do fine. Well, very good, Charlie. It's a new general in there at 13 years old, which is excellent. And you'll be even better when you get the extra at 13 years old. I hope your birthday's not real soon.
My birthday is July 30th next year.
Oh, yeah, you'll be 13 when you get the extra. That'll be great. Very good. I hope you enjoy the new, so to speak, borrowed rig and everything works out good. I understand you got the antenna kind of up and it's going to get some modifications. So looking forward to hear good things from you, Charlie. That was Kilo November 4 Victor Tango India. We'll catch you later, Charlie.
And Danny made it clear that it was not borrowed. I'll be glad to return it to him whenever I got a new one. But he said do what you want with it, trade it up, sell it, not sell it, but like trade it up, give it to a new ham even.
Ah, very good. Yeah, I wasn't sure of the arrangements. Just wasn't sure. All right, very good. Appreciate it. Good to hear. You'll be able to use that to good. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure you'll have a ball with it, just like everyone else does in ham radio. Well, very good. Appreciate you being there. And that's Charlie. He's in just a little bit south of the river in North Mount Juliet. That's Kilo November 4, Victor Tango, India. And who else we got north? Please come in. Anybody else north of Mount Juliet? And over to the west. Please come in. Over to the west.
Oh, YRF.
Oh, there you go. You delayed on me. I didn't know if anybody was here. KM4YRF. Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Paul. Doing good. Had a great time at the breakfast this morning and got my wire up in the trees. I still got some more work to do, but hopefully I'll be able to get on HF soon.
How far did you get up in the trees? How long is it?
It's about 132 feet long. We can only get it up about 20 feet, so we'll have to see how that works.
Oh, you're going to be surprised how well it does work. It may not be perfect, and it may be, less than perfect, but it's still going to be better than you expected because it's amazing what it'll do. I knew one guy that ran his wire along the top of a 6-foot fence all the way around an odd-shaped lot. He did fantastic.
Well, that's good to know, and it's certainly better than none.
Oh, absolutely. But what I'm saying is it's amazing what can happen. And of course, when you have a random length wire like that, you obviously have to have a tuner. At least I think you do. You do have a tuner for that, right?
Yeah, I've got a MFJ 949E, and I also have a LDG auto tuner.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have one as well. Nice little machines. A little pricey, but they're all pricey for the auto tuner.
Well, this one was cheap.
What was it? Midnight Ham Radio Supply?
no, I got this in a deal with my friend in Owensboro that I had all that used equipment from.
Oh yeah, the one with the tower you were hoping to take care of.
That'd be the one.
Yeah, I got you. Is the tower still available?
No, actually, I told Terry he just to keep it. He was needing a piece, and I told him just to keep it. I couldn't put it up, and I'd have to go all the way and get it. So, say Livy.
Oh yeah, no, I understand. Well, you'll be. I think you'll be surprised, pleasantly surprised with a wire up there out in the air because a lot of people have done that. Like I said, I had a Carolina Windham, an off-center fed Windham in Florida, and I think at the top of it, it was about 20 feet off the ground at the peak, and then on each end, it was no more than about 8 or 10 feet. I worked, 100 countries on that thing.
Well, that's great. I actually had a 16-foot extension ladder and then a 10-foot stick of PVC. I cut a V groove in it, put a weight on the wire, and flipped it over the limbs, and it worked out pretty well.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it will. Well, very good, Michael. Glad to hear it. It sounds like you got good things going there in HF. I'll be happy to hear when you do. Tell me about all the countries you've been working. That was Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Yeah, he said it was good to see you and your brother Richard. He wasn't so pleased though. He told me that.
I want to say congratulations to Charlie.
Oh yeah, very good. Yeah, Charlie's doing great. I wish everybody had the same enthusiasm. Who else is west? Please come now.
KM4TJF.
Hey, yeah. Unfortunately, your brother preceded you.
Yeah, I know. I was actually snoozing a little bit there on the couch, and I got a text that we were west, so I thought I'd better check in.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, it was good to see you at breakfast this morning. It's a good group of 12. We can't pack too many more people into that room.
That's true. I really enjoyed it, man. I had a good time this morning.
Yeah, very good. So you guys went right over to his house and put that wire up? Is that what happened?
That's exactly what we did.
Awesome. So now that that's done, the next time you go over there, he'll probably have you mowing the lawn or something.
Yeah, probably so. You know how he is.
Yeah, he's a user, man.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Richard, he's over in Ashland City. That's Kilo November 4 Tango Juliet Foxtrot. Doing with a great signal out of Ashland City, as always. Who else? West, please come. I'm hearing somebody breaking the squelch there, but no audio. Got nothing. Anybody copying anything out there?
I got nothing here, Paul.
Should be out of the West. Okay, very good. Anybody else from the West? One more chance.
W4AWE.
You doing something special there, John?
No, I was hearing that squelch break myself, but couldn't copy anything.
Yeah, there's another station that I think is West, and I forgot his call. He was, I want to say he's in, I forget where he is, to tell the truth. Out West, though. And he's checked in a couple of times, and maybe that's him having problems.
Well, if he has SSB, maybe he can try that a little later.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, Joe. There's another fellow who was in. Glenn was here, or was at the breakfast this morning. He's done a lot of. Well, I don't think he's done. He does some commercial videography for some functions and stuff. And I just thought it'd be a good chance to get to meet him if you ever get to a breakfast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, we had a real good breakfast this morning. Someday, well, it's quite a trip from you over there from Bellevue, but it'd be nice to have you over.
Yeah, I will certainly make it out there. Once I get caught up with all this stuff, I will have more of what the British call classical leisure time.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
They don't go to their summer home in Scotland?
Well, Scotland can be a little breezy even in the summer.
Yeah, so I'm told. I've never been there. My mother was there some years ago. She said she loved it.
Yeah, it's really magnificently beautiful place. So is Ireland, which I'm a little biased to, being Irish, but you don't see a whole lot of sunshine, but it's still breathtaking scenery.
Yeah, so I'm told. Well, there's a reason that so many people in Ireland are fair.
That's right.
I mean, honestly, everyone if you look at some of the people from Ireland, you go, man, you're whiter than an envelope.
Yeah, that's bright white complexion with those sort of rosy cheeks.
Yeah, and often reddish hair.
Yeah, and sometimes a little Guinness can add to that rosy cheek.
I guess. I just can't get over. I had some of that, having that warm beer idea. It's not a good idea.
Well, I mean, typically Guinness is really served more cool. It's you really lose some of the taste of it when it's too cold.
Well, yes, you're right. I had some of that. I don't remember where it was. I was overseas somewhere. Oh, I know where it was. I had an opportunity to give blood over in this over in the island in the Indian Ocean, and I forget where it was. But anyway, and I'd do anything to get off of the ship to have just get free something. So to give blood, and I went to give blood, and then the short story is after we got out, we sat out on this patio, and it was almost like a jungle hospital. It really was too. I wish I had a picture of it. And they gave us beer. We go, oh, great! They gave us a glass of beer. This is awesome. And it was tropical water temperature. It was like 80 degree beer.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's but I'm sure it was quite a treat. Instead of the normal chocolate chip cookies after giving blood, a little pint or something like that. I imagine that got into the bloodstream pretty quickly.
Yeah, it did. Well, just to give you the tidbit, why I knew that I didn't know if I was in trouble going there, but we went and they just laid us down on these what you'd think of as the metal old hospital beds. They were more like metal cots with a mattress, and then they came and they inserted the needle in your arm to take blood. Remember now, this is over in the Indian Ocean, and they had what looked like a mason jar on the floor where the tube went down into, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to die of something.
Yeah, that's actually, that was approved medical equipment. You can go back and see some of those World War II hospitals, VA hospitals, where that's exactly what they were using. It wasn't the bags at all.
Oh no, I know it was jars. I just at the time that was about 19, I think 1969, and I thought it looked kind of odd then. But again, we were out in a place that I'm not even sure it had electricity. Maybe it did. I don't recall.
Yeah, it's like the classic yellow fever ward.
That's what it looked like. It really did. It was it was almost like a ward type operation. It didn't have thatched roof, but it was, it had just looked like something out of the 40s. It was just looked antiquated, which is true of a lot of third world countries.
Yeah, as you're getting up off the bamboo mat, you do it slowly.
No, it wasn't quite that bad. Well, okay, John, we'll catch you later. That's Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, and he's over in Bellevue. Yeah, it'd be nice to see you over there at the breakfast center. Who else is west? Please come in. And we'll move over to the south of Montreal, to south of 40. Please come in. I'm sorry, catch that one more time.
KR4AZ.
There you go. I'm sorry. Tim, I just doubled with you. How you doing, Tim?
Doing okay. Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I got to meet, it's funny, just like you came over and met me here at the house. Danny came here today, the first guy who checked in from Hendersonville, Whiskey Echo 4 Echo. And I told him later, I said, well, you blew it. Now, this image of talking to him for a year or 18 months, however long it's been since he's been on this net. And you get this mental image of somebody, and it just stays there. And so then when you meet the person, you go, oh, man, that messes up my whole brain, because now I got to change the image in my head.
Yeah, your mind's eye can play tricks on you. Now, I've heard people on regular broadcast radio, you think, you've got to, like you said in your mind, you kind of nailed down by the voice what they look like. And then you happen to see them online or on TV or something like that, and you go, yeah, that sure did blow that theory out of the water.
Well, to give you an idea, have you ever met Dean, who's on the Morning Bible Net?
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, sure have.
Okay. My wife has heard him on the air, and she says, he sounds like a really big, gruff guy, big, tall, gruff guy. I go, well, you haven't met Dean.
No, that would be just about the opposite, We would be 180 out.
Well, she also did that with Marion. She said, Marion sounds like this scrawny little guy, Southern guy. I go, he's not scrawny, and he's not small. Okay, it's just your image is wrong. What you hear on the air will fool you.
Yeah, that's right. Well, did you get into that any of that antenna work they've been talking about?
No, but there's an opportunity. I got to send it on an email. Now that you mention it, Tim, there's a fella Russell in Laverne, who just got a brand new antenna, and he needs assistance putting it up on his eave. He's got the feed line and the brackets and the hardware, and I just need somebody in that vicinity. And then, again, I'm not pressuring you for it. But Sundays and Mondays are good days for him to do that. And I got to verify if he has a ladder to reach the eave or not. That's the only, obviously, you kind of need a ladder because it's hard to, conceivably you could do it from the roof, but that's not necessarily the best way to hang over and eave important stuff to that side of the house. Anyway, I'm glad you reminded me. It was Russ's antenna. All right, well, very good. Good to have you in there, Tim. That's Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu. Good to have you in there. Good signal as always. Who else? South, please.
Kilo November 4, Mike Papa Victor.
Hello, Terry.
Good evening, Paul, and everybody on the net. Hope everybody's having a good weekend and enjoyed the breakfast I didn't get to again, but maybe again one of these days. It's just kind of tough getting about 4 hours sleep trying to get there and drive about an hour to get there, so makes it rough, but I do try to get to a few of them, but wish I could get to more of them. But anyway, I'm glad it went good, and you had about 12 people, you said, and hope everybody has a fine weekend. I'll let you have it back there, Paul.
What we'll have to do, you make a good point there. What we'll have to do is if we do a live feed on YouTube, then you can watch the breakfast later.
Yeah, but it still ain't like being there,
I don't think we want to do that. Take 2 hours of video so you can see people eat breakfast and chew the fat.
Yeah, you probably have to have a commercial in there on that one to make it more adventurous.
And then you'd have to segregate out all. I mean, you'd only have one conversation at a time, which isn't what happened.
Yeah, that's right. I know you'll figure it out, Paul.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. It's called We're Not Doing It on YouTube. How's that?
Yeah, that sounds pretty good to me, I think, on the breakfast part, too.
Yeah, very well. I hope you can make one of the breakfasts these days. You just have what you need to do is just you tell the boss, listen, I'm sorry, but on Friday I have to get the other route where I'm home early.
I hear you. Yeah, if I'm off on a Friday, I'll definitely try to make it because I get a little rest then.
Yeah, I know you would. I know we've had you there, and it's great to have everybody there, but everybody can't make everything. I wish they could, but there's just like everything else, you can't meet everybody's schedule or make everybody happy. Hard to believe, but I'm sure there's probably people who don't like the net.
Yeah, that's right. Can't suit all the people all the time, but just some of the people some of the time. I think somebody said that before. But anyway, I'll let you have it, Paul. You have a good one and do a good job. Appreciate you. And hello to everybody. And like I say, and have a good weekend. 73 KN4 MPV.
Yeah, very good, Terry. That's Terry, Kilo November 4, Mike, Papa Victor, and he's in Murfreesboro. Anybody else out? Hey, Scott. Yep. Yeah, anyway, I don't know if you've heard Russell there in Laverne Hill. I think it's the last of it is QPR. I'd have to look. He's checked in a few times, and he's also been on the Rutherford net as well. I don't remember the last time, but he has been on that as well.
I know there's a couple of big HFOs within 2-3 miles of them. Hear them obviously real strong, but that name or call sign doesn't ring a bell.
No, I hear you. I'm just trying to glance through Russell. It's K4 QPR. I was right. Huh. My memory's not completely wrong. K4 QPR Russell. Yep, he's over there in Laverne. But anyway, I'm going to put out an email and just to see who we can round up, and I got to verify a couple of details. He's going to need some help with that. He bought a Diamond X300. I think.
Okay. I know which one that is. All right, we'll carry on there. K1SPD.
Very good. That was Scott in Laverne. That was correct. I got two people in Laverne. Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. Who else we got? What south of 40? Please come in.
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor.
So you're the only guy that's got Yankee in your call.
Yeah, I'm trying to overlook it.
That's not quite true. So I just noticed that Michael's coming in there too. Yeah, no. So you doing all right today? It was good to see you this morning.
Yeah, man, I could use probably another cup full of gravy.
Oh man, you have to believe this. I got to my plate. I didn't even bother to ask her again, but I get the biscuit and there was no gravy on it. Whatever. I'll just eat it.
Yeah, we'll let you get on with it, man. KU4 is with me.
Very good. That's Larry in Rockville. Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. As always, a great signal. Who else south of 40? Please come in.
Kilo India 4 November. Yeah, I guess it'll be my turn. KK4 UCS.
Hold on. You doubled with David, who's down there in Reedyville. You probably couldn't hear him. Hold on 1 second, Carl. Hold on, YouTube. The UTS or UTW? No, I know it's UTS. David, how you doing tonight?
Well, good evening, Mr. Ball. I'm doing very well, sir. That is a 5 watts there. How copy?
Yeah, you're doing good to me on 5 watts. I'm sure there are other people can't hear you, but you're doing good to me.
Okay. Well, I just checking. I didn't hear the doubles call, but anyway, just kind of surprised you heard.
No, not really. Yeah, you bumped up as close to S3 here at this station.
Oh, okay. You forgot to ignore me then tonight.
I could have. See, that's the whole thing. Well, unfortunately, on the having YouTube on here, people would know if I'm ignoring.
Oh, I better look at the YouTube better. Anyway, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, sir, and glad you guys had a good practice. Back to you. Have a good one. Hey, I'm for India.
Yeah, we haven't seen you in a long spell, so looking forward to seeing you. That was David, Kilo India 4 November, Delta November, and he is in Reedyville. And next up, we got Carl. How you doing, Carl?
Ain't doing too bad. I heard you say 5%. I thought it was 10.
Yeah. We'll get into that later. Not on the net, please.
No worries. It's never keep it. I keep the machine rolling over there, and I got to get the one in the car turned on. You know, you get in the car and you run over there, you run an errand here and there, or whatever, and you forget to turn. Well, I do. I forget to turn it on, and but I'm going to try to turn it on and climb to the mountaintop, and maybe one day I'll. You know, I know what I'll do. I'll go over there at right over there at Walmart and see if I can reach you from there.
I think you'll be able to reach me just fine, but if you come up and park in my driveway, you'll get even better.
All right, it's definitely a good time, KK, for you. I'm on standby. You guys be good. All right.
All right, appreciate it, Carl. It's Carl. He's over in Gladeville. That's Kilo 4 Uniform Tango Sierra. You didn't get that right. Yeah, it is. Uniform Tango Sierra. Carl. Who else we got south of 40, please? Over to the east then, east of Mount Juliet.
WA4ZHI. Randy Bravo.
Man, you got to start speeding things up there, Richard. Hang on. James beat you again.
What else is new?
What's new is, let me take James first. I'll get to you.
Well, I hold my mic right up to my mouth and read my name right off the paper so I won't forget it.
I think it's triggered by the word east.
I know nothing.
How you doing today? It's good to see you this morning as well.
Well, thank you very much. I like it myself.
Well, it's just good to see people once in a while, especially those, that's why I wish that more people could come so I could put a name with a face. I mean, otherwise I meet people and I go, who is that guy? I may recognize a voice, but because oftentimes, even with people I've never met, I recognize their voice almost instantly, but I don't necessarily know what they look like.
Well, I was one of the guys that eating gravy this morning. I got gravy.
You got everybody else's gravy. I saw them pouring that stuff on.
It was good.
Oh, I'm sure it was good. Did you check your what do you call it? The stuff in your veins there? Did you check to see what your rate was for what do they call it? The plaque or the stuff?
I didn't want to know that bad.
No, I don't imagine.
Cholesterol.
Yeah, that's it. Couldn't think of the word. I try not to remember the word because I have my rate's a little higher than it should be, and I'm working it down. Very good. Thanks, Michael. Appreciate that. We limited memory people need to help each other. Very good, James. Everything else going well with the family today?
Yeah, everything's going good. Let me tell you a little note here. Your text under your YouTube video says 9th of September.
Oh, did I really? Oh, I was working quickly as I started that. Okay, I'll get that fixed. I can't see that in this view. I can see it in other stuff. That's funny. Appreciate that. I'm doing relatively messed up today, aren't I?
Does it matter, or can you fix it?
Oh, no, I can fix it. No, there's no question about it. I can fix it.
Not that it matters or anything.
Well, it only matters because you like to think that they're in the right order. No, it doesn't really matter. Ultimately, it's just that people. Well, see, only about 20 to 30 people see those videos, and most of those are you guys on the net. I'm sure there's some other lurkers that jump in there and want to see what's going on. In fact, I don't even think it's an accurate count because I think some of them don't get counted. Like if they're using a handheld, I think sometimes they don't get counted. I'm not really sure. But anyway, yeah, I appreciate you telling me that. Make sure to correct the September thing. Noted as well. All righty. Appreciate it, James. That's Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India. He's here in the heart of Mount Juliet. Richard, you're up next.
Good evening. Hope everybody enjoyed breakfast this morning. Sorry I wasn't there because I had other things to do. They called me to go to work this morning, and I went in and stayed until about 11:30 and came home.
Oh, don't sound so excited, man. Yeah, no, we missed you. We just took an opportunity to talk about you mostly.
Oh, I don't doubt that, and that's quite all right because when you're talking about me, you let somebody else rest, but that's okay. But 7 degrees to everybody. My antenna is not functioning properly. It will act like it's trying to receive, and I'm talking to you on a 3-element Yagi at the moment that seems to be functioning because I heard you and James both. But and I think I've got it pointed toward you, but it must be pretty close. I've got to see what's going on with the 510 and see if I can remedy the issue.
Well, yeah, you're with the Yagi. You're hitting me with about S8, which is doing great.
That's cool. Now this thing works really well. I'm really pleased with it, and Kevin did a good job building it. But I got to figure out what's going on with the 510 because I'm gonna be lost with the best thing going down. But I'll start in on that tomorrow and see if I can figure it out.
It must be contagious from your power supplies.
Yeah, was Robin there this morning?
Negative.
Okay. I figured he might be and had something to tell me about the ones I gave him, but apparently not. I'm not going to be too concerned about it. I'm not going to rush him. When he's done, he'll be letting me know, I'm sure. But anyway, y'all carry on, and I'm going to be scratching my head and my left toe and trying to figure out what's going on with this vertical.
All right, if you need help, just call on your technical assistants over on Lebanon over there with Kevin.
Oh, I'll do just that, and I'll let y'all know what's going on as soon as I can. KFOSIB, have a good one.
Yeah, very good. That was Richard Kilo, India 4, Sierra, India Bravo. He's over there just west of Lebanon. Great signal on his Yagi, pointed our well toward Mount Juliet anyway, which would have been to the west. To him anyway, to the west. Who else we got east? Please come in. East of Mount Juliet, please come in.
Charlie.
Yeah, okay, there you go. I heard Jeff in there. I'm sorry I doubled with you when I repeated myself. How you doing, Jeff?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing to the point where I almost remember your call without hearing
Like I said, it's no biggie.
it. No, it's not either. I'm surprised I remember the calls I do.
I give you a lot of credit, that's for sure.
Well, I guess I have to. It's funny. I try to do, you know, how they talk about associating letters with words or with names in some way. It's not always easy because there's no way I can get Jeff out of Whiskey Delta 4, you know, or get Whiskey Delta 4, Whiskey Delta Charlie out of Jeff other than just remembering the call. You know, I try to think of WD-40. I get the WD in there. There's no 40 in your call.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't make it to the breakfast today.
Yeah, we were doing other things.
Oh yeah, no, there's always other things, and that's you know, no foul, no big thing. They just like to see everybody there if they can make it, and you know, we get different people in there a little bit every couple of weeks, but makes it fun. Makes it fun, and we just look forward to seeing as many people as we can. Well, good to have you in there, Jeff. That's Kilo Delta 4, Whiskey Delta Charlie, and that is the call. Right? I got that right that time, didn't I?
Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo, Whiskey Charlie. You're getting close.
Man, oh man, I was really messed up with that. So I did it wrong, even though I thought I did it right. Whiskey Delta 4 Bravo, Whiskey Charlie. Gotcha. You did say whiskey, didn't you?
I did. Bravo, Whiskey Charlie, or better with Coke.
Oh, okay. Very good. Whiskey Delta 4, Bravo, Whiskey Charlie. That was Jeff over in Lebanon as well. Who else we got east? Anybody else east? Hey, Stan. You doing okay today?
Yeah, doing pretty well on yourself, Paul.
I don't know. I'm doing pretty good. It's been a good day. A nice day, sunny, a little breezy and cool this morning. I had to jump my second car because it had been sitting idle for a long time. And going out first thing in the morning at 6 in the morning to jump a car to get it started is not a fun thing.
You didn't notice things. I quit whenever it gets cold outside.
Well, you guys have been born and raised in the South. You've been blessed with reasonably good weather. I can remember times. I remember placing a starter in like January, laying underneath the car on a gravel driveway, replacing the starter when it's about 20 degrees outside. Not fun.
That's no fun at all.
I don't want to do it again either. It's not for maybe young people can do that, but not me. Well, very good, Stan. Anything else you got good going on?
Not at the moment, Paul.
All right, very good. That's Stan. He's also in Lebanon. Kilo Mike 4, Hotel Quebec Echo, and anybody else late check-in? Late check-ins, any place, anywhere.
K4. No late check-in, but I have to say something about the starter KK4 UTS. So
Wait.
way back, I don't know, 20 years ago, I bought a Lincoln Continental green with lime green for $250, and I was down
on Gallatin. You know, Gallatin Road turns into Nashville, so forth, so on. But I was down south of Inglewood, down that area, and I had it was cold as, which is right, what they said. And that darn thing fell off the start, a big old long start, like a cannonball, right? And I had it laying on the lower control arm, and I'm down here, and it was cold as heck. So it's kind of wild that you were bringing that up, KK42.
Oh, I hear you. It's no fun doing that kind of work. It just isn't. Being a shade tree mechanic is not something you want to do forever. Anyway, hold on one second there. I'm glad you said that, but I had Steve in there. I also heard, I think, did I hear Brian in there too? Who was the other station besides KWU? Did I hear DBV?
W4 DBV.
Hold on one second. I had Steve in there. I think that was who Steve was. K4 KWU? WKU.
Okay.
I got that one backwards too. Sorry about that. How you doing, Steve? Our only out-of-state QSO.
Doing fine, Paul. Haven't heard too many people that are checking in tonight, but figured I'd come down and give you another number. Just got done doing a Saturday shift and getting ready to do my Sunday shift in the morning, finish up the weekend, and then I'm off for 2 days. So looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, always. Yeah. It's funny how I've had jobs similar to yours, and I worked a lot of stuff in mechanical, electrical stuff over the years. And sometimes I think, some people are. It's a great thing to do. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great that people work in the trades, because I was one of them. But at the same time, I look back at my thing, and I got the arthritis in fingers and joints, and working in cold weather and smashing my fingers and joints, and making a mess of myself sometimes working, straining things I shouldn't be straining. And I said, man, I should have stayed in school and become an attorney or something, where they don't do any of that crap. No, it's true. It's just funny how I can't go back in time, and I don't know if I would have been good enough to be an attorney. But you know what I'm saying is, you just kind of wish that. You just wish that you'd done better, I guess, if that's the way. Well, no, that's not true. Not better. You make more money.
Made more money in a profession that didn't use your hands.
Well, again, I tend to side with. I get upset with people who have never worked. In other words, their life has always been in either academics or, they just have jobs that are, like lawyers or not physicians so much. Physicians do work with their hands, and they tend to be kind of educated tradesmen, I call them. But it's just funny how a lot of those have a superior attitude about people in the trades. And it's really the wrong attitude to take for obvious reasons, because without the trades, none of them would have fresh water, safe sewage, proper electrical, safety, and everything would be all messed up for them.
Yeah, there's a place for everyone, isn't there?
Well, of course there is. I remember a guy, and I'd heard it before, but I had a guy doing some plumbing on a big room addition I did on a house in Florida. Just chit-chatting with him a second. I said, how long, I asked him, how long you been doing plumbing? And he told me, I forget what it was, 15, 18 years. And I said, and he seemed to enjoy his job. And I said, so you enjoy your job a lot? He goes, keeping America's water supply safe. And that was and he said it with conviction, believe me.
With a 45 Magnum.
Anyway, no, it's just because really, it's like that get her done mentality among tradesmen and people who work in the field. It's it takes I find it very prideful. I used to go by projects I worked on and go, hey, I did that, I did this. So it's fun to look at your jobs and go, yeah, I accomplished things.
Yeah, I did a quick job today and finally got it off my to-do list.
Was it a tough one?
No, I just didn't want to do it.
Well, those are the ones. It's the tough. It's the ones you don't want to do are the ones you got to do first.
Yeah, I know.
Well, very good, Steve. Good to have you in there. That's Steve. He's in north of Bowling Green, but it's K4WKU. Great signal coming in tonight, Steve. So the conditions must be pretty good, at least between you and me. And of course, Steve has a beam and a small tower that's pointing. You're still using that tower, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Just want to make sure I wasn't lying about you. Brian, how you doing?
Oh, not bad. W4 DDD here. And, I just want to comment on the trades. Without the trades, which take, often a lifetime to learn, civilization as we know it
Oh, absolutely. No, I just people tend to take that for granted. I mean, we tend to put halos around doctors, lawyers, and people of that nature, and professors and stuff. When in fact, the people who get stuff done are the tradespeople. Not to say the other people aren't productive. It's just a different thing, and everybody's got to find a job somewhere. And some of the finest, I'll just say, artisans I've ever met are in the trades.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's been a very warped perspective on the types of work people do for about, since WW2, I'd say. I wish I had gotten into the trades earlier instead of being steered in some wrong directions where I was. But anyway, tremendous respect for people who can do something well. Anyway, that's great. Well, anyway, not too much to enjoy seeing everybody this evening. I'm not hearing anybody direct. I caught just a whiff of Richard SIB out there just for a second. I thought an airplane must be flying over, but not hearing anybody else direct. I have the YouTube channel pulled up, and so I'm getting everybody with about I don't know, 10, 15 second delay. So it makes for interesting listening. Anyway, good evening, and hello to everybody on the net, and enjoyed seeing people at Courtney's today. W4 DBV.
Yeah, very good. You're hitting me with an S5, which isn't too shabby for what you got there for an antenna.
Oh, the antenna's not that bad. It's just where it's located, and of course I'm strictly reduced to an HT now. I think it's cranking out about 5 watts, maybe max.
No, that's doing great, really. I would have never guessed. I forgot that we're using HT, but it's doing a real good job. It must be the big watts, the big 5 watts.
Yeah, it may be closer to 6. I'm not sure. It's the ICV80. I'll have to go through the little data sheet, see what it really puts out. I leave it on high power when I use it, which isn't that often, and I've got a nice run of coax and an extension thanks to Eddie, et cetera, et cetera. So it does okay. I hear you very, very well, very loud and clear. I don't hear anyone else hardly. And if you can copy me, then it's doing what I need. W4DBV.
Yeah, very good. That was Brian. He's up north of me, up closer to the river in North Wilson County. That's Whiskey 4 Delta Bravo Victor. It's actually more like northwest Wilson, northwest Mount Juliet, kind of on the border. Anyway, Whiskey 4 Delta Bravo Victor. Who else? No, anywhere, please. Anywhere. Late check-ins.
KB9 or KK?
Or a very loud fluttering sound for about 10 seconds of your signal, then it just stops.
Who, on Brian's, you mean there, Charlie?
No, I mean on yours, and it did stop though.
Yeah, okay. That might have been something going on there. Thanks, Charlie. We got Frank. What's up? I still like to see you today.
Hey, I'm surprised I didn't get up here in time to check in. I guess you started in the north.
We did. We started in the north. That's right.
Oh, okay. Did you start on the west last time?
No, we actually started on the east. I got corrected on that when the net started.
Okay. Yeah, when I was downtown on Wednesday, I didn't know if you copied that part. That's when your radio, when I checked in, your radio was doing that where it would cut out. But I was getting like S8, S9 down over by Midtown.
Yeah, it's amazing, really, how well. Most of the time, it works out pretty good. Most of the time. That's why I'm surprised we don't get more check-ins from Davidson County.
Yeah, I mean, the whole way back, I can hear quite a bit of the people. Then all of a sudden, there's a little bit where it drops once you come into Hermitage and you climb up the hill again, and everybody comes right back up. The guy in HT, he's giving me S9, but he's really close to me.
Right. Yeah, Brian's pretty close to you. He does well though with the attic antenna and the monstrous 5 watts. I suggest he plugs that HT into maybe 120 volts. That'll fix it.
Yeah, I had no idea it was an HT. It doesn't sound like one to me.
I know it doesn't sound like it to me either. It was odd because I've heard worse signals from him with his regular rig, when it was still working. Anyway, Frank, good to have you in there. That's Whiskey or Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo, and he's also in Northwest Mount Juliet, almost as far as you can go. His name is Frank. Good signal, Frank. It was good to see you this morning. Who else? Late check-ins?
Also, his signal was really, really great to me too. I'd say that's nice.
Oh yeah, well, he's not too far from you, Charlie. He's just west of you a couple of miles.
Okay.
Very good. Do we have any other late check-ins?
WY4
Hey, Jeff, how are you doing?
I'm tired. I was missed when that first came on. I was asleep in the chair waiting for it to happen.
Don't feel bad. I've done the same thing. I did. I fell asleep on the sofa, and my wife wakes me up, and I'm just sitting there watching TV, and she goes, "Don't you have a net tonight?" I go, "Oh yeah, I haven't done that in a while, but I have done."
Yeah, I put in a lot of hours yesterday and worked on. Well, kind of had to, but I didn't. But I did, and then I worked today. It's pretty busy, so just I guess the fatigue's catching up to me.
Yeah, well, you just need to get a good solid night's sleep, which usually resolves that, but it's kind of tough to do sometimes.
Yeah, it is for me. But since I wake up like 3, 4 times a night, just waking up. Yeah, but I'll catch up.
Yeah, you must have the same sleep patterns I do, interrupted by arthritis pain that I got to move every time I wake up.
Yeah, that probably just what a little bit of restlessness and everything else.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Yep, and it's funny how it doesn't. I didn't used to. I used to be able to sleep all the way night through. That was just no problem at all. In fact, I'd sleep past it all the night through. I didn't have an alarm going off. But these days, no. I sometimes wake up at. I go to bed at 11. I wake up at 2, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, it sounds about like me. I'm usually, when I have to work the next day, I'm in bed by 7 o'clock most cases, and I'm waking up during the night. And I always wake up pretty much around 2 o'clock. I have my alarm set at 2:30, so just so I don't just natural for me to get up too. If I wake up at 4, I feel like I oversleep.
I got you. Well, very good, Jeff. Your signal's good anyway, and you can go to bed right now. You have my authorization. That's Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf, and he's in Madison. Hey, here's somebody else in there. Anybody else? Please come in. No more anyplace else. We're moving on to lurkers, lollygaggers, sandbaggers, scanner listeners, SDR donglers, preppers, and end time survivors. All right, I got nothing. Don't want to hang on there too long. If you do want to jump in, just let me know. We'll move on to the buy, sell, swap, and swindle net. Anybody got anything to sell? Please come in. Anything but anybody wants to buy?
KM4YRL.
Hey, Michael, what's up?
Hey, I'm in the market for a antenna switch.
Antenna. So you're going to try to beat your antenna, or you want to switch the switch antenna?
No, I want to switch between two.
All right, very good. Are you going to use it on HF or UHF, VHF?
UHF, VHF.
UHF, VHF antenna switch is what Michael's looking for. So everybody's got one. Either you can, your call's good on QRZ?
Yeah.
Okay. And you can also tell me right now if you want to talk to Michael about an antenna switch. Okay, we'll put it out there. If you would, Michael, send that out on the net so that everybody on the 83 people know about it.
I'll do it.
All right, sounds good. Needing a UHF, VHF antenna switch. Then we'll just move on right on to the. Has anybody got any other questions, or even if you have answers, please come in for what we just discussed, or Phil, or late check-ins, or whatever. Very good. We're going to move on to the sideband net, and the sideband net is 144.240. It's 144.240 upper sideband, and I'll be there momentarily. 144.240. So I'll make sure I'm writing it down for myself correctly, but moving there now, so bear with me. You're right there. K4 PE.
Before you go though, I've got a box chip Android smartphone DMR for sale.
Do sideband.
Hold on, Carl. You got a what for sale now?
It's a box chip. It's called. I had it in from China. It's if anybody knows Bob with RFinder, it's similar to that. Doesn't have the RFinder software in it, but it's a DMR radio. It's a smartphone. It's got two. I've got a couple of them actually, but it's got two. It's called active dual SIMs, so you can run. And I've only used it on AT&T. I don't think it works with Verizon, but you can run two two cell numbers on there, and it's got FM. I think it's 400 to 480, somewhere in there on FM and DMR.
Ah, very good. If you do, whoops. Got carried away with myself pushing buttons. Yeah, Carl, if you would do me this, if you would post that to the group, on the groups.io site, that way you can give the details if you would, so people might know what that is. All right?
I'll do it. I got your email open, and that'll leave me there. If not, then I'll pick up with you on Wednesday or sometime between here and there. But I will do it. KK4UTS. Thank y'all.
Very good. And you had a question, Charlie?
Oh no, I just said I do have a little bit of a question. Do you have any recommendations for a sideband 2-meter transceivers? Because mine can't do sideband, and I'm looking forward to get on that net sometime.
Well, that's going to be a tough one because a 2-meter only sideband or a UHF VHF sideband rig is not easy to find because I don't know any that are currently made that stand alone. And there are a lot of rigs, the newer all mode, all band rigs are somewhere around $900 to $1,300 for a HF rig that includes 2-meter and 70 centimeter sidebands. So that's going to be a tough nut to crack on to do that.
Well, I don't need exclusive. I can have it do FM too. I mean, that's all. I see one that can do 2-meter and 440 that also does sideband.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That to have it by itself is going to be hard to find. But if you look on eBay and look for a 2-meter sideband transceiver, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's hard to find one, and they're usually old. And then the other option is to have a brand new rig that has everything in it, and those, I'm talking about a fair amount of money, $1,000.
Well, I've heard not good things about the rigs that do everything. I've heard that you should just have a rig that does HF and does it well. Like I haven't heard that those do it well. Do you have any experience with the rigs that do everything?
Oh yeah, they do a really good job. You'd be surprised. I mean, a bunch of people I know have the rig. Two of the rigs I have, and they're all mode rigs for all HF through 70 centimeters and 2 meters, and they do. Well, I've had this one for 15 years, and the other one I've had almost as long, and they work great. So it's really I wouldn't say it's easy to say they aren't great. Yeah, great HF rig that's all HF all the time. Yeah, you're going to get a good rig for that, but you're also going to have to pay extra then to get a 2-meter sideband rig and or a rig that does 2-meter 2-meter sideband and FM. Let me move on though, Charlie. We'll go over to sideband, and I'll be back on the air in a little bit.
Okay, sure.
All right, moving over to 144 240. We'll catch you right over there momentarily. K4P. All righty, this is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey. Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net on 144 240 240. That is upper sideband. Who else we got? We'll start off from the north. And again, please go on. KB9RK. There was a triple in there, so I heard KB9RKK. I think I heard who else did I hear? WE4E I got in there. Okay, we got Danny up there in Hendersonville. Who else? You hear anybody else in there from north? All right, moving over to the west of Mount Juliet.
KM4
All righty, we got you in there, Michael. In Belshire. Who else west? Nobody else west? I can find John in there. Anybody south? Very good. I got you in there, Terry. Anybody else? KR4AZ. Very good. Tim. There was somebody else in there.
Kilo 1 share, Papa Delta.
Ah, very good. That was Scott in there. Covered up by Tim. Who else south? Please go down. From the east, then. We got anybody in the east? Well, we'll have to stay with that unless somebody jumps in there. And we got me, Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey here in Mount Juliet, and Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo. That's Frank over there in Northwest Wilson, and Danny in Hendersonville Whiskey Echo 4 Echo, and Michael in Belshire. That's Kilo Mike 4 Yankee Romeo Foxtrot. Terry in Murfreesboro, Kilo November 4 Mike Papa Victor. And Tim in Murfreesboro, Kilo Romeo 4 Alpha Zulu, and Scott as well. He's in Laverne though, a little closer to me. That's Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. Is everybody able to? Is anybody can't hear everybody? I guess that's the key question. Is anybody cannot hear everybody I just mentioned? Well, we're doing good. It's a good alternate, but I'm not sure we'd ever use the alternate. I'm not very sure. I guess if we had to, we'd use sideband. Now, FM seems to work pretty good for everybody, but I'm going to call it a night. And that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. So we're doing pretty good. All righty, you guys have a good night, and I'm going to be back on FM in a second. I'll catch you later. Good, and thanks for checking in on sideband. K4PEW.
WE4 EQS1.
You're familiar.
4AC EQS1.
I'm authorizing the QSL. We'll catch you later. K4PEW. All right, back on here. We had grand total of what I just say, 7 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 7 people on 7. K4PEW.
Yeah, Paul, that going back to what you and Charlie were talking about before we went to sideband. Yeah, all band all mode rigs, they're a blessing and a curse, and they're expensive. And the all mode 2 meter 440 rigs are as much or more than those are.